Hi grade 8s. Today what we're going to do is we're going to start dividing fractions. So we've looked at multiplying fractions, we did some quick review on adding and subtracting fractions. Now we're going to take it to the last spot where we're working on dividing fractions. We're going to start with a little bit of an easier case, is in which we're dividing by a whole number. So in this first example we're going to divide by 4. So the first thing I would do always is if I'm dividing by a whole number, I want to change my whole number into a fraction. So in this case, the 4, I can write as a fraction as 4 over 1. If you ever have a whole number like 7, you can write it as a fraction as 7 over 1. So if you've ever got a whole number and you're turning it into a fraction, write it as something over 1. Now what we want to do is we're going to do one move here that ends up being really important, and it makes life so much simple. The thing that's doing the dividing, the 4 over 1, so the second of your two numbers, so the second of the two numbers, what we're going to do is we're going to perform a move called reciprocal. So reciprocal means a flip. So you can see instead of the 4 being on top and the 1 being in the bottom, we're going to move the 4 to the bottom. So we're going to put it as the denominator. And the denominator, which was the 1 will now become the numerator. So when you do this flip, this reciprocating, this reciprocal, it now causes the division to switch to a multiplication sign. And the 8 over 9 stays the same. So what do we do now? Well, if it's multiplying, you know the rules. Top times top, numerator times numerator, which gives us 8 times 1, which is 8. And our denominator times denominator is 9 times 4, which is 36. Now I'm going to ask you to do something extra here. I want you to write this in lowest terms. So it's really important to me that we don't just leave this as 8 over 36. We ask ourselves, what number can be divided into both the 8 and the 36? Well, they're both even, so we can divide them both by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 36 divided by 2 gives us 18. Now again, this is not in lowest terms because I can see both of these can be divided by 2 again because they're both even. 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. 18 divided by 2 gives me 9. So you can see now that I'm at 2/9, there isn't a number that goes into both 2 and 9, so we are done. We are in lowest terms. So, quick review. When you're dividing, the thing doing the dividing, the second number in the division, gets reciprocated. We take the reciprocal of it. That means the flip. So 4 over 1 becomes 1 over 4. And then you change this from a division to a multiplication. Once you've done that, then it's just multiplying. Top times top, bottom times bottom. Get your answer in lowest terms.